King's Country, kingscountry.net. That's my friend Mark Chestnut, Too Cold at Home. That is the song that put him on the musical map way back in 1990. Man, how time flies when you're having a royal time. And that's the song that put him on the map way back in 1990. And his first video, Too Cold at Home, was filmed at Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas, proud sponsor of the Jim King of the radio and TV shows. Talked to Mark recently. In fact, we recently did a taping of Casey Chestnut Show, his talented son, and Mark got on stage and sang Too Cold at Home to end up the show, to round up the show at night. Much to the fans' delight. You can see that on my YouTube channel. Just go to jimkingoftheroad.com and click on YouTube icon on my homepage, and you can see it. Mark Chestnut, good friend of mine, too, here in Southeast Texas. As we keep it on a roll with Justin Moore on the Jim King of the Radio Show. King's Country, kingscountry.net. I'm Jim King of the radio. As I mentioned earlier, I started my diet on Monday. Pleased to report that I weighed in this morning 7 pounds lighter than Monday. I won't give you the exact weight because then you'll know how fat I am. But I want to tell you, it hasn't been completely easy. First day or two were, but the other night I found myself walking down the aisles, circling the aisles of chips at Dollar General. Started picking up the packages, reading the carbs and calorie content, hoping that I would find a magic chip that would satisfy my cravings, that wouldn't make me fatter. Again, doesn't exist. Speaking of snacks, cookies are number one on the list of top 10 snacks people have loved from an early age. The research also shows that over half of Americans say they've inherited their snacking habits from their parents.
You are right. I learned it by watching you.
Thanks for streaming King's Country at kingscountry.net. Tell your friends about us and stream us on those newfangled Amazon smart speakers, Alexa smart speakers. Just say, Alexa, play King's Country from TuneIn, and you are in great fidelity in your castle. Check it out. And check this out. Some breaking news from Nashville. Kelly Clarkson paid tribute recently to the late Joe Diffie by covering his song, Prop Me Upside the Jukebox, If I Die. Unfortunately, Joe died from COVID-19 complications in March of last year. Taste test time. Check it out. Studios of King of the Road Productions on the west end of Beaumont, Texas, where country is king. Jim King of the radio behind the wheel. Also do it on the television. Yeah, the Jim King of the TV show, cooking up a fantastic episode. Never been more excited about an episode that's coming up around the bend. It'll air 3 times this weekend on Fox 4 and the CW. First time on the CW, 6:30 a.m. this coming Saturday here locally in Southeast Texas. 9:30 following local news and Fox 4 KBTV Saturday night, prime time, folks. Final encore performance is 12 noon on Sunday on the CW. We're kicking off a mini-series. It's our Cajun and Country mini-series. We'll close it out this week with Dustin Saunier back in the Royal Spotlight by popular demand, and thanks to Bradley's Collision Center. We'll have the Southeast Texas debut of Juna and Joey's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week. They're a dynamic duo. And we'll kick it off with the Grammy Award-winning Wayne Toups and Zyda Cajun, captured live at the Cajun Heritage Fest a couple weeks back in Port Arthur, Texas. Check this sample out.
Extra large and turbocharged. It's the King of the Road Show.
Oh, hail to the king.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road.
Jim King of the Road.
Around
You know I've done you wrong, still I know we belong. Take me back, take me back. I begged you before, now I'm begging you once more. Take me back, take me back. We shared our sweet dreams of visions and good friends. So let's fall in love all over again.
Wait, Tubes, you did it again, man. You brought the house down, closed it down, the place is empty now.
Yeah,
but
you know, it's,
what a show.
You know, my friend, I thank the good Lord for giving me the ability to continue to do something like we do on a high level. And the musicians in the band are great. We played those songs that we recorded for years. We started to do some new stuff. With the COVID thing, you know, we were like kind of like constrained a little bit.
The COVID really shut you down for a year.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a bunch of work. But we were able to pull through it, you know, the good Lord's grace.
Was it a rough 12 months? Or
Yeah, you know, yeah. It was rough for almost 18 months.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know what? We were able to come on the other side of it. And we're on a roll now. And
I think, man, we're going to these festivals and they're just jam-packed now. Everybody's so ready to get out again.
Well, everybody is ready to get out. How long it's going to last, I don't know. But I know that everybody was just biting at the bit to get out. There was a lot of them that wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That felt constrained a little bit.
Right.
And then there was a lot of people that didn't want to because of the mask thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody to each his own.
Right.
You know, you protect yourself how you can.
Well, we got vaccinated. My girlfriend and I got vaccinated, so I feel a lot safer. That's not for everybody, but for each his own.
I just appreciate everybody worrying about themselves and their families, and I'm glad everybody's coming out now. We good. We on a roll.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably start working on something within the next year or so, some new music material. I didn't feel like it was the right time to do anything during the COVID thing because I couldn't put my spirit into it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know,
A lot of people were suffering.
well, everybody was suffering, and you know, we were all suffering, everybody, and just not in the right frame of mind to give it my all for my fans because I don't want to give them anything less. I said she's alright. She's my little baby, and she's alright with me. She's my little honey, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's my little honey, yeah. Na 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 na. Oh yeah. My little honey.
Watch part one of our Cajun and Country mini-series this weekend on Fox 4 the CW. For those of you outside of Southeast Texas, you'll be able to stream the segment soon at JimKingOfTheRoad.com. Just click and view on demand. And thanks for streaming King's Country at KingsCountry.net. King's Country at KingsCountry.net. It's pedal to the metal and green lights and blue skies in the Jim King of the Radio Show with Tim McGraw back when. And you're riding shotgun in the Red Rocket Cadillac style, SRX style, as we cruise through the noon hour Coming up in the noon hour, I'll be serving up some Gary Allen. How about some Billy Currington, T.G. Shepherd, Eli Young Band? They're all waiting backstage. But right now, right here, Brooks and Dunn, that ain't no way to go on King's Country. And thanks for streaming us. King's Country, kingscountry.net. Jim King of the radio behind the wheel. And I will keep it between the ditches. Could get bumpy from time to time, though. Got some breaking news from Nashville for your dining and dancing pleasure in the lunch hour. Brett Young is looking forward to Father's Day. Of course, Father's Day is this coming Sunday. And Brett's going to spend it with his whole family. Listen to him talk about it right here.
My parents just moved from California to Tennessee because they couldn't stand being away from the grandbaby anymore, and with another one on the way. So my dad's lived in California for all 70 years of his life, and now they're living out here. They're close by. So I don't know what our plans will be, but I'm sure we'll be with them. Hopefully, if it works out, Taylor's parents can come, and her dad can be here too. But we will be together as a family for sure. And it's so fun to celebrate Father's Day and not only get to be with my dad, but now to get to be with my daughter as well.
King's Country, kingscountry.net. That's, who is that? Jimmy Wayne. He was big in the 2000s, about the mid-2000s. Good stuff. Do you believe me now? Hear me now, believe me later. I'm Jim King of the radio. Oh, looky here. T.G. Shepherd, straight ahead, Last Cheatin' Waltz. Speaking of T.G., I'm having a fabulous flashback. I warned you, it could get bumpy. Hold on. King of the road. Backstage in Silsbee with the legendary T.G. Shepherd.
Now, in country music, the songs that make the big bucks are the story songs. A few years ago, I asked a couple of songwriting buddies of mine, I said, guys, you've been writing all them great story songs for Kenny Rogers. Why in the hell don't you write one for me? Well, a couple hours later, they called me and said, Shep, we have written you a career song. Now, I'm going to ask for a little bit of audience participation on this one. I'll tell you right where to come in. It was the hottest day of August. All of us were down by the banks of the Big Rock River. I was next in line to be baptized at the innocent age of 10. I'll never forget, I remember it yet, the taste of that clean few water.
Great to finally meet you in person.
How you doing?
Actually, I think I did meet you a few years ago.
Yes, you did.
At the old Wild Bill's in Beaumont.
Yes, you did.
That was in the mid-2000s,
Yeah,
I believe.
that place burned, didn't it? Or something happened to it? Or
they tore it down.
Okay, they tore it down.
Yeah, that used to be the old Cutters where Tracy Byrd and Mark Chestnut played a lot.
Yeah.
You probably played there, too.
I sure did.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel that when you do, like, the big dates, like the 8, 9, 10, 12,000 people dates, that those are the big ones. No. These are the big ones to us because you're able to look right into the eyes of the people standing there on the floor, and it's just like a closeness that I enjoy these type of dates more than the huge dates.
And Southeast Texas has great country audience here. They really get into it.
Country's my way.
King's Country, kingscountry.net. Thanks for streaming us in your lunch hour. Have you noticed how impatient people are getting these days and fights on planes and whatnot? From our file, you can't make this stuff up for your dining and dancing pleasure in the lunch hour. A woman in Ohio wanted McDonald's employees to mix all 3 slushy flavors in one cup. She was told they couldn't do that. That's when she walked around the counter, began spewing profanities, punched the female manager, and pulled the manager's mask off. At one point, she apologizes and then goes back to get to the slushy machine. That's when she punches one of the female employees in the face. That employee then goes to town on hers. Here's an edited clip of what we can air.
Not touch my boss! Sorry, I've been up all day. I'm sorry, I know it's sorry. Not touch my boss! Get out! God assaulted her. She can put you in jail. Go ahead. You hit me and her. And go to prison. Now go to prison. Don't touch my boss again. Whatever. Don't come back here. Get out of here. Call the cops.
King's Country at kingscountry.net, coming to you from the studios of King of the Road Productions on the west end of Beaumont. Yeah, this little 12 by 12 room where I've produced now 775 Jim King of the TV shows. Well, I will have 775 finished by tomorrow. Hundreds and countless of radio shows from this room, too, this King of the Road Production Studios. And got a new show I'm cooking up. We got a miniseries we're going to kick off this weekend. It's a Cajun and Country miniseries of the Jim King of the TV show. Airs 3 times this weekend on Fox 4 and the CW here in Southeast Texas. Check your local listings. If you reside outside of Southeast Texas, I will post the segments at some point this weekend, probably Saturday afternoon at jimkingoftheroad.com so you can watch them on demand. Star-studded entertainment extravaganza with Dustin Sanye in the Royal Spotlight thanks to Bradley's Collision Center. Got the Southeast Texas debut of Juna and Joey's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. And the Cajun part of the show is Wayne Toups and Zyda Cajun, captured live at the Cajun Heritage Fest a couple of weeks ago by King of the Road Productions. Here's a sample, little taste test of the show.
We're back in full swing, thanks to Texas, and I love Louisiana. I mean, and I think we're getting back on track. I don't think we're quite as wide open as Texas is. That's why we're over here a lot. And of course, we've been playing this market over here in Texas for 30 years.
Yeah.
And they love us, and we love them, and they support us a lot, and we can't get enough of it, and hopefully it continues,
I came here over 20 years ago, and one of the first artists I saw was you. First Cajun artist for sure, and Le Boss. You lived up to it. I was a big Bruce Springsteen fan growing up, and now I'm a Cajun fan thanks to you.
Well, thank you. That was when Bob Johnston was the producer of Blasting the Bayou. He came up with that slogan. He came to one of our concerts one time, and he said, God, man, it feels like a Bruce Springsteen
High
concert.
energy.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Wayne Toups, great to see you.
Hey, Jim, how are you, my friend?
Le Boss is here. He's in the house. And you're staying busy.
With the new little boy, he's 22 months. And
Marlon.
Yes, he's a handful, but we're enjoying it, the wife and I. And
you had Daryl years ago, and then you took 15, 20 years off.
Well, and Daryl just had twins.
Okay.
So I'm grandfather again, so.
Congratulations.
But the music business is great.
Yeah.
We're having a good time, and we're still playing. We're staying busy.
You put out an album in April of 2016, your self-titled album.
Yeah, on the Malaco Records.
Yeah.
And there was some really good tunes on there. And we're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's the Cajun Bruce Springsteen, folks.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're, we've been very fortunate, Jim, and people like you that really help out over the years, and continue to help us out.
Heck yeah. Always love them. I got to have my tubes fixed. It's been a few years. And with having tubes withdrawals from the last time we had you on the show.
Well,
and
what a great place to be. Honky tonk is a great time.
Are you still on cloud nine about winning that Grammy in 2013?
Well, you know what? I just think that I'm always going to be there because it's it's in a place I can see it every day, and I don't make it a habit to go in the room and look at it, but I'm in that room a lot because that's where the boy likes to play, and I get a chance to see it, and it's still right here. It's always going to be right here.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.